What's going on, everyone? I may go quad upload today, so make sure you check out the first video about Stan Lee, this video about Fallout 76. I've got another video talking about an update from BioWare on Anthem, and another hilarious Bethesda meme later today. So, if you remember a few days ago, I covered a possibility that Fallout 76 would be going free to play. Now, in that video, I never once said that I was 100% certain that it was going free to play. I relayed some thoughts from people that worked at EB Games and GameStop who both believed that the game would be going free to play, and that would be why they were sending back base copies of Fallout 76. I think it is an absolutely reasonable conclusion to make. However, not the only conclusion. So maybe they were just sending back original copies because the originals weren't selling well, and everyone who was buying Fallout 76 was buying the Power Armor Edition or the Tricentennial Edition. Maybe the game itself just wasn't selling well and there's a buyback there. There's any number of other reasons that you might send back one edition of the game over another. Perhaps maybe the profit margins on the Tricentennial Edition were much better and they just wanted to push that. I'm not sure, but it's unrealistic, or I think it would be unfair to discount the fact that the game might go free to play as a possibility. However, PC Gamer decided to write an article mocking me and basically lying about the case that I made and the existing situation that's in place so they could kiss up to Bethesda is the only thing I can think about, or I could think is reasonable. Otherwise, maybe because they know that they're a dying website and just fuel for memes for most YouTubers at this point, they relished in whatever they thought was some sort of victory. But let's take a look at the article together, and I'm going to point out just how disingenuous Andy Chalk is. Fallout 76 is not going free to play, in case you were wondering. Like, as if it was just preposterous. The rumor was silly, but Bethesda has made it official anyway. No. Well, if the rumor didn't have any legs, if the rumor didn't make any sense whatsoever, I doubt Bethesda would have had to comment on it in the first place. It's fair to say that Fallout 76 did not get off to the smoothest start. Yeah, that's the understatement of the century. Even so, a recent rumor that it's about to go free to play, fueled by reports that physical copies of the game are in short supply in Australia. What? That is a categorical lie. Now, we know, because this rumor was broke by this channel, I know exactly what they're referring to. And at no point in my video where I was talking about the game possibly going free to play, at no point in anybody else's videos who I watched who were covering the situation did they say that it was simply because physical copies were running low in Australia. In fact, in my original video, I showed that EB Games, in fact, had removed standard editions of Fallout 76 from their website. And it gets deeper here in just a minute. But also, I want to make it clear that I had people inside of Best Buy, people inside of GameStop, people inside of EB Games in other countries sending me literal photographs that they had removed the standard edition from the shelves. This is irrefutable fact. And the very reason that they misrepresent that, nobody was saying that it might be going free to play because the game's in short supply. Nobody said that. Could you sound like more of a shill? Seriously, Andy Chalk, I want you to point me to the video or the article that says they're in short supply. No, they talk about exactly what I talked about. The fact that these stores, again, EB Games, GameStop, Best Buy, were all pulling it from their shelves. I had more than 50 people, either employees of these stores or people that had walked in, that verified this. This is not even a rumor. It happened. Now that that's established. So make of it what you will. And wild speculation seem pretty clearly to be without basis. Yeah, right. When you're removing physical copies from the shelves of the store, I'm pretty sure I would call that basis. Let me ask you this. Let me pose another option. Okay, so Resident Evil 2 is coming out very soon, and all of a sudden, 4 major worldwide chains are pulling Standard Edition from the shelves and only leaving the Premium Edition after months of having to heavily discount the game down to as low as $10 in some cases. Is it really a realistic statement to say that that theory was without basis? And by the way, it was persistent enough that Bethesda nipped over to Twitter to officially shoot it down. This, by the way, was not exactly an official statement. They replied to a tweet. Hardly anybody saw it. For Bethesda, maybe a few thousand people saw it. 400,000 people saw the video about the rumor. However, Bethesda did reach out to me and with an official statement, and in all fairness, I did cover that. I said, look, Bethesda said it's not going free to play. Okay, and that's what you do, right? It's not like I said it was and then they corrected me. I said, what could this mean? They're pulling copies from the shelves. What could this mean? Not, this is irrefutable evidence that it's going free to play. So the fact that they frame it in this manner is pathetic, all right? And here's an interesting thing. If you go back and watch the original video, or you watch the live stream last night or 2 nights ago, which is already available on my Midwestly channel, where I always archive my live streams, I look at the Fallout 76 inventory at EB Games, and it was still out of stock. Now, this morning, here's something interesting. They linked to EB Games. At the time, during my live stream, you could not get a new version of the Standard Edition. So now you see on their website, Fallout 76 pre-owned, $68, buy one, get one free. Now, I was incorrect. I've never been to EB Games. Here we have GameStops. So I was confused by buy one, get one free really meant. Apparently at EB Games, that just means buy one used game, get one free. So this is 68 Australian dollar dues. But notice, now they've put it back on the website. They've put it back on. This was not there yesterday. Now it's back up. And interestingly, it's now $20 more than the Tricentennial Edition. Why do you think that is? This is brand new. If you go back and look at my live stream or look at the original video talking about this, these were not available on the website. So only after Bethesda made this statement, and only after PC Gamer wrote this article, did they put this back in stock. And now they want $20 more than the Tricentennial Edition, which is extraordinarily interesting. It's at minimum, a demotivating price point. They don't want to sell it. Now, maybe they were out of stock, but that would seem to go against all of the people literally confirming with photographic evidence that they weren't on the shelves, and employees telling me that they were instructed to pull it from the shelves. Is it an elaborate op? 50 different people from across the world all simultaneously emailing me? This seems unlikely. Bethesda hasn't commented further, but there's not really much to say. It could happen someday, sure, but I thought it was an absurd rumor. Multiple MMOs have made the switch over the years, some successful and others not. Ooh, hot take. But 2 months after release, Bethesda may have biffed the Fallout 76 launch pretty badly, and in some mind-boggling ways. Wait a minute, Mr. Chalk. I thought you said it didn't get off to the smoothest start. Now you're saying they biffed it? That seems like a turnabout to me. But it will have to be aware of whatever goodwill remains between it and the fan base would evaporate almost immediately if it transitioned from premium purchase to free to play. Of course. This is exactly what I said in the video, and any idiot would know that. Any idiot would know that if you decided to make the game free to play after nearly 1 million people paid somewhere between full price and $20 for the game, you would have some splaining to do. But this article by PC Gamer is clearly about me and just goes out of its way to misrepresent and damage control for Bethesda. So I feel like together, Mr. Chalk, okay? Now, I don't know. PC Gamer used to be relevant when they had a magazine that you used to get free PC demos in. I remember way back in the day. But it's pretty safe to say that at minimum, Mr. Chalk is just shilling for Bethesda. And maybe PC Gamer is just an extension of the gaming industry, like automobiles in the United States. Every automobile is always getting some JD Power and Associates award. That is pretty clear to me that JD Power and Associates is just an advertising arm of the automobile industry, just like apparently PC Gamer is just an advertising arm of the gaming industry, offering little to no real criticism and working quickly to sell out somebody out here, working to try and inform the public. Look, I'm not always going to be right, but also this includes you Fallout fanboys that were reveling in me being wrong. I didn't ever say that it was absolutely. The games getting pulled from shelves, that's irrefutable. I was 100% correct about that. The fact that that didn't mean it was going free to play, okay. Well, then it means that the game is selling so poorly that Bethesda is having to pay return copies from EB Games and GameStop. There you go, Bethesda. Is that a better headline? That your game is selling so poorly that EB Games has gotten a refund from you and Best Buy and GameStop? There. We'll change the narrative. Is that better? And PC Gamer and Andy Chalk, you're a chump, dude. If you're gonna take a shot at me, at least represent my case clearly and don't just make up a story. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you at 3 o'clock. It's gonna be spicy.